everybody, it's Stefe and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing the Candy Shop makeup trial. So if you would like to see how I put together this look using the items in the box, then stay tuned and keep watching. Okay, so right now I have on the Frank Body Glow Mask that's supposed to be caffeinated. It is the morning. I haven't had much coffee yet, so I'm trying that out. I did put a pretty thick layer on. But this says 10 minutes, and I think the card for BoxyCharm said 5 minutes, so I'm not really sure if it's 5 minutes or 10, but I'll probably only leave it on for 5. And I'm also using the Grace and Stella eye patches. These come in a pack of 12. You can get them from BoxyCharm pop-up, I'm pretty sure, because I did get them in a BoxyCharm box. But this is what they look like. They're really pretty. And they just kind of tingle a little bit because I believe they also have caffeine in it, because it says it's like an energy drink for your eyes. So my eyes were pretty puffy. I don't know if you guys can tell, but that's why I'm using them. So far with the face mask, I don't feel anything going on. Like, I don't feel any tinglies. It doesn't feel cooling. It just kind of feels like I have lotion on my skin. So this right here might be a flop, but I guess we're gonna have to see. Alright, I'm back. Face mask is off. My eyes still look a little bit puffy, but we're gonna have to just see what we can do. It looks like I have hooded eyes right now because they're so puffy, so this might be a challenge, but we'll see what we get. My face feels very tight. It does feel very clean. I don't really think that mask did anything for me in terms of caffeine. I don't know about it. I mean, it does say it's got shea butter in it and goji berry, but I don't know how I feel about this. I like a lot of the face masks that I have, and this is not one of them. This to me is kind of like real basic, put lotion on your face, and that's it. So I think this is a flop, honestly. But before we do anything else with the face, we're going to do the eyes. So I put together a color story for you guys, so I'm going to show you that. It is very pretty. So here it is right here. This top color is from the Shared Planet palette, and that is in the shade Paw Print. As for the Ciate London Editor palette, we don't have any names, so we're just going off of colors. I have this like taupe color as our transition shade. Then I have this brown that we'll be putting all over the lid. And then I have this red shimmer that's kind of chunky, and we're going to put that on part of the lid and see how that looks. So let's get started with that. Alright, so first thing we're going to go in with is Paw Print, and I'm going to show it to you. So Paw Print is this one right here, and we're going to do our brow bone first. I've learned over the past couple weeks it is easier to do your brow bone first and then just go back and add whatever you need to it. So that's what we're going to do. Now this may look a little bit intense for right now, but that's okay, because when the whole look comes together, you're really going to see what it's going to look like. You don't have to go all the way down, just want to have a little bit of color there. Alright, so I actually forgot to tell you guys what brushes I'm using. These are the Luxie brushes. So for the brow bone highlight, I went with this angled brush because it was the biggest brush. And for the rest of our eye, we need a real precise application. So this was the only brush that I was really left with, was this angled brush. Now for our transition color, we're going to be using, where are they? We're going to be using this one, and this one for our transition. So this one right here, this taupe color, and this is like a flat packing brush. This is good for doing the transition because the brush is pretty big, but it's also a little bit dense, so it's going to hold a lot of product. So we're just going to take that and we're going to kind of pop it in the crease, I am getting a little bit of fallout with this. I mean, that's okay. We don't mind the fallout here. It's easy to get rid of as long as you don't put your base down on your eye first. Now, as you can see, that's just kind of like a real subtle color, but we're going to go over that. So next I'm going to take the brush I had the brow bone highlight on, and I'm just going to kind of blend this into it. Just little circular motions just to kind of blend that in. There we go. Alright, so next we're going to go in with that darker brown that is right next to it. I'm going to take this fluffy brush to do that because this is pretty much going to also go all over the eye. I just wanted the transition shade in there to kind of set everything on the eye, so I'm going to start on the corner here. Do we have pigmentation or what is going on here? Because I'm not really seeing a lot of pigmentation. Alright, I'm going to go spray this brush and we're going to try that because I'm not getting anything. Between these two colors, they look very different in the pan. They're looking the same on the eye. Alright, let's see if this is any better. See the difference? So the problem with when you spray your brush is that you're not going to be able to blend as easily, and you kind of have to layer, almost like you would layer a shimmer as for blending goes. So it takes a little bit of more finessing to go ahead and do that, but it is definitely doable. So I really wanted more out of one spritz here than what I'm getting. I wanted this to be darker, and it's not giving me that. It's like almost like spraying the brush kind of just washed away the color and it's not sticking. I mean, it's there. Definitely looks a lot different now. So I'm going to take the brush that we had our transition shade on. I'm going to put a little bit more on that, and I'm going to kind of go around the edges and add a little and see if we can layer that over the top and then blend it in, because like I said, when you have a wet shadow, it is real hard to blend it out. And now we're getting into that brow bone area a little bit, so I'm going to take my brush without anything else on it, and we're just going to kind of blend over top of that to keep our brow bone area the same. So that should give us a nice gradient look so far compared to the other eye. You can see the difference. Alright, so as you can see, we are starting to get a little bit of fallout right here, but we will brush that away. So I did add a little bit of paw print back up here after I had blended that out, just because it was starting to fade away. So now we're going to go in with a red shimmer, and I'm going to see, it looks like I might, because it's a foiled shimmer, it's really chunky. This might be one that's best done with a glitter primer, but we're going to try it and see. Oh no, she's going on. So usually I like to do like the first half of the eye, but this is kind of going all over the place. I'm not sure if you guys can really tell. It's kind of all over, so I'm thinking about just focusing it on the lid and then seeing where we get from there. But this is giving me a ton of fallout. So either spray your brush, use a primer, something, because if you look at my nose, it's just full of glitter fallout. I think we could try spraying the brush. I'm not really getting any like reflective vibes from this, so let's just try one spray and see if this helps. I keep spraying my mirror for this palette on accident, which makes it hard to do the application because, okay, so we're picking up a little bit more. Like I said, this is very chunky. If you're hoping to keep your palette like nice, and not full of product. That's not going to happen with this palette. Okay, there we go. Now I'm getting what I wanted. So, like I said, when you spray your brush, you're going to have to go back and add in those other colors on top again. Because as you can see, I kind of like have like a chunk right here. And that's not what we want. So, I'm going to have to go back and fix that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, now that my brush from the brown has pretty much dried, I'm going to go back and try to add in a little bit of that color in the crease just to kind of keep the depth here and get that blended. The main goal is you don't want this shimmer kind of like all over the place. You want it to be in one specific place. So that's what that looks like. So eyes are pretty much done, but the next thing to do, and the reason why I always tell you guys don't put your base on if you have a new palette and you don't know how to work, is because you get this followed. And I know right now it may not seem like there's that much. You can see a little, like a couple little flecks, but one thing I always found is when you bring out the makeup wipe, that's when it really comes out. So it's very important. I mean, even if you try to sweep this away, especially with the shimmer that was so chunky, it's just going to stay all over your face. So it doesn't really help. You see that? I told you guys, I don't go in with moisturizer or anything. I keep my face completely bare until it is time to do, until the eye look is done, because I have all this stuff right in here, all the way down my face. Now, if you do get a little bit of follow and you end up forgetting and just brushing it away, your foundation should cover it up, even if it's a shimmer, if you have a full coverage foundation. But if you don't, or you're using it like a skin tint, like a tinted moisturizer, something like that, you really want to make sure you're cleaning this up. And I don't know what to tell you about the glitter, because the glitter is just going to stay. I know on camera this eye look doesn't look as cohesive as it does in real life, but it looks a lot better in real life. The lighting doesn't do it justice. I mean, that's a little bit better, but I'm so used to my goth looks nowadays that I'm not used to doing these type of looks anymore. So the next thing we have in our box is going to be the Farsali Quench Moisture Replenishing Serum. So we're going to try this. Does it say how many drops to use? No. So I also have my GlamGlow Moisturetrip, which we did get from BoxyCharm. That's what I'm going to be using for a moisturizer. I use this every day. It does have, I believe, sativa seed oil in it. And days like today when my skin is like really red and inflamed, it does help with that. Also, if you go swimming and you wash your face and your face still feels kind of crappy, like really dry and itchy, go ahead and use that Moisturetrip because it'll help. So let's try a couple drops of this. The dropper is pretty big, so I'm going to take, did I get anything in here? There we go. Now I did. Hello. Okay, so we're going to take like maybe 5 drops. See, you guys can't see that. 1, 2, well, we'll do 3 because they're pretty thick. Like 3 drops, and this is how much I got. So let's take this and put this on. Ooh, it feels very thin. And then it says you put your moisturizer on after this. I need more for my forehead, so I'm going to do like 1 more drop for my forehead because we didn't have enough to make it. This just feels like really thin, kind of like water, but it's very tacky on the skin. So I'm not really sure what that's supposed to do. I mean, if you wanted to use this as a primer, you probably could. I'm not sure if it's going to separate your makeup because it does have hyaluronic acid in it. So that's something to be aware of. But I'm not really sure. I was just looking to see what else we have in the box. I'm going to back you guys up a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. There. Okay, so you guys are backed up a little bit. Let's put on my moisturizer now and see how these two go together. I'm not going to do anything on my lower lash line today, just because I want to keep this look just more like fall-like and simple and pretty basic. And hopefully I've made the steps easier enough that if you do get this palette and you wanted to try out this fall look, it'll be easy for you. If you struggle with it or you have questions, comment down below and let me know what you need help with. I do also have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, so I am always willing to answer questions if you do want my help. Okay, so as my moisturizer is kind of drying down a little bit, what did I just, oh, that's a pimple. I was like, what did I just get on my face? I know I need to paint my nails. Stop screaming at me in the comments. I know. I will this weekend. I just have had a real busy week, so it's been crazy up in here with these kids. Still can feel the tackiness through there. One thing I like to do before I actually go in and do the rest of my face is I like to go ahead and let my moisturizer breathe for a minute. Like I either go outside for a couple minutes or I do the dishes, something like that. So I will come back to you guys in a couple minutes when it is time to do our lip here, because we have the Ace Beaute Draw Up lip liners. We're going to be using the brown in here. I don't want to use the red because we already have a little peak of the red on the eyes, and I'm not really a red lipstick girl. So I do have a couple lipsticks. I can try to see if they're going to work, and I'll pick one of those out. But I'm very excited to use these lip liners because I love Ace Beauty, and I have so many lip liners now just from BoxyCharm alone. I've got the Beauty Vault ones, I've got the Gerard Cosmetics ones, and now I have these. And then I also just got two from Jeffree Star, which will be a video that will be coming up soon. I swear, I'm going to have the Velvet Trap video up for you guys soon. You just have to be patient because I have like three other videos in my video editor that have not even gone live yet. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to put first. And then I also have to fit in my Tamed Wild and BoxyCharms in there for you guys, because those I definitely don't want you guys to miss. But these are the colors, again, in case you want to see. So we're going to be using the brown one today, and I think that's really going to pull everything together. I don't know why the camera is just not doing this eye look justice, but it really does look pretty. It'll look a lot better once you see my full beat face and everything. I promise. But anyway, I will come back when it's time to do the lip. Okay, so I looked through my lipstick collection and I found what lip we're going to use. So the swatch is right here. This is the shade Leo. It is a Jeffree Star liquid lip. I did get this from my mystery box. So we're going to be using that with the brown Ace Beaute lip liner. So let's go ahead and line, and then we will complete this look. And then I'll give my thoughts on everything. Well, this isn't as pigmented as I thought it would be. It's there, but it's very light. It also feels a little bit dry. Like I'm really having to push to get this to work, and it's barely showing up. All right, so that's the lip liner. It's on. It's not as pigmented as I thought it would be, and I do have other brown lip liner, so comparing it to those, for the price point of these, I really don't think that they're worth it. But let's put on our lipstick now and see how that ties the whole look together. That's so nice. All right, so there we go. That is the finished look. I think it looks very nice. You can kind of see now with my makeup done, the eye look looks a lot better. And you can really see that gradient effect going on with the eye. Sometimes you just have to trust the process, guys. Believe me, it does work out in the end, but sometimes you just got to trust the process and take things one step at a time, because sometimes in the middle it does look kind of weird like it did, but that's just the name of the game of makeup. Okay, so let's go over everything. So starting off with Frank Body. This, I feel like, is a waste of money. I would not buy this. I don't like this. I might gift it to somebody or something, but I'm not going to be using this again because it didn't do anything for me. All it did was dry out my skin. For the Farsali Quench, my face feels very comfortable right now. I think this is very cool, and you could probably use it as a primer, but you might have to play with that a little bit. Maybe on a day you're not going anywhere, and see if it's going to do anything weird with your foundation. But I'm going to keep using this. I did use a primer today. I'm going to keep using this with my moisturizer because I have it. Very bougie product. I usually don't use a morning serum. So this is nice, and with it getting colder outside and the wind and everything, you want your skin to be moisturized. So I appreciate this. Then next we have the Luxie brushes. I used all of them except for the spoolie because I already have a bunch of spoolies. I think these brushes are nice. I would have liked some, let me take this spoolie out. I would have liked some brushes that were smaller, almost like this one, because I feel like they're just too big, and it's nice to have one big fluffy brush, but when you have a bunch of them, it's kind of hard to be precise. So that's just what I'd say. And then, you know, we obviously have the cute little Luxie case that they go in, which is nice, you know, to store your brushes or whatever if you're traveling. This is the perfect amount of brushes to do one eye look for me. So I appreciate how many are in here, and you can always use a spoolie in case you mess up your eyeliner. You can just wait till the eyeliner dries and then scrape that off. So it's always good to keep a spoolie with you, even if you don't think you're going to need it, because you actually might. As for the editor palette, I'm going to show you how dirty it is after using it. It already was dirty from when I did swatches before. I'm going to hold it up here and show you. So as you can see, it's very dirty, and you can tell this color right here was the chunky one that kind of got everywhere. So I would say beware with the shimmers in this. They are very chunky. You're going to have to spray your brush. Also with the mattes, if you want pigmentation, again, you're going to have to spray your brush, which does make them hard to work with and blend. So for me, this palette, the component is nice. The mirror is nice. The color story doesn't speak to me at all, really. It's nice for fall, I guess. But I don't like this. I really don't like this. And then as for the lip liners, I think it's cool that they have that little pencil sharpener in the bottom. Very nice. But they're not that pigmented, and they're dry. So for having as many lip liners as I have, these are probably going to be like last resort if I need them, or if I'm going somewhere and traveling, I would take them. That way, if I lose it, I'm not upset. So overall, going through everything, thinking about the whole box, the only thing I really like is this. So I'm going to give the box a 2 because I always appreciate a palette. I always appreciate a face mask. Brushes are always nice along with lip liners. So they gave me a decent selection of things, but it's just not what, like, the products they didn't really speak to me. So I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. Anyway, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys did like it. Stay tuned for other unboxings and more makeup tutorials.
And like and subscribe.
So if you liked the video, leave it a like. If you're new, please subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. Mwah!